So, I mean, that's bad. And compared to a lot of other people in the UK and around the world, it's a really lucky situation to be in. But I mean, on the more selfish side, I would have, I would have liked to be around, playing shows to people.
Speaking of returns, it was in 2019 when Bombay Bicycle Club came back after a musical break. And although you never handled the word split, and you and the others and the others sold your instruments because you never really believed that the band will ever return to a stage. So can you tell us how was that moment when you realized that you wanted to return with Bombay Bicycle Club?
It was a strange thing because we did the band for 10 years and it's all I'd known. I joined the band when I was 15 and we went on hiatus when I was 25. And when I was 25, I was embarrassingly, I was kind of bored of it. It's all I'd ever known and I wanted to do something else. And for 3 years, I went off and I made a record by myself and the other guys went and did other stuff. And in those 3 years, I think all of us realized what we actually had in front of us the whole time, and it was really special. We wouldn't be able to do anything like it without the band, and that we really cherished it. So I mean, for me, I had a moment of realization. I mean, just it being so difficult making my own music and starting again from the beginning, and I was like, wow, I really miss those guys and I'd love to make music with them again. And I got together with Jack and Jamie and I told them that, and then we all started having a conversation, Seren as well, and we all came to the conclusion that it's something we found really important, and we didn't realize how important it was to us when we were actually doing the band. I think you take things for granted if they've been your everyday for the whole of your life.
Now, talking about Everything Else Has Gone Wrong was the album that marked this new era of Bombay Bicycle Club, and one where Angus team to start from the scratch and with more maturity and without prejudice. Musically, what do you learn during the time you worked with Jack, Seren, and Jamie?
What did I learn with them? I learned I'm better off working with them than by myself. Like it's so important to have people you trust and that you can lean on, and vice versa, and just having a communication and knowing people for that long, it really, I don't know, there's nothing else like it. And again, I tried making music by myself, and I still do, but having people you trust there is the most important thing. I guess that's what I learned.
And also, one of the most notable changes on in this album was that you wrote some of the songs, such as Good Day and It's Wake, Nothing But You. How do you decide, or how do you and Jack or all of you decide to change this creative process? Because I mean, it was always Jack who wrote the songs in the band.
Yeah, well, it was Jack for all the other albums. It was Jack that wrote the songs, and then we would come in as a band and play them together and kind of finish them off. But they were very much his songs, and they were his to start with. And in the time we had away on the hiatus, I spent my time recording and writing music in the room I'm in now, actually. And when we came back to it, this is a new skill that I'd learned. I was kind of able to write songs and be like, hey, how about this one for the band? It was never a case of Jack being greedy or wanting all of the power himself. It's just none of the rest of us were kind of writing songs and putting them forward. And that's just one thing that changed in the hiatus.
Now, I read in an interview that the song Everything Else Has Gone Wrong talks about finding hope, security, and comfort in moments of despair. Something that maybe many of us need to find right now because we live in a very uncertain reality. Yeah. How does Nash find hope when he feels the world is coming up on him?
Well, I mean, I've very much felt it over the last couple of months. I think music, I mean, it would be stupid for me to not say music. That's what the song and the album's about. Just if you're feeling bad, going to just putting a record on, taking a walk with a record, or just, picking up a guitar and playing it. It's the best escape that there possibly is. in lockdown, I've got really into like doing exercise and running, which I always hated before, but I don't know, being stuck in and not being able to do anything, not be able to see my friends or go to shows or anything, just that kind of way of getting out by yourself and running around is something that I've been finding really useful when everything else goes wrong.
And next July 24th, you will release the EP called Two Lives.
Yeah.
From which already hear some acoustic version of your songs. And I think that this, correct me if I'm wrong, but this new EP is the first acoustic work that Bombay Bicycle Club presents since the launch of Flows. An album that has many songs with that musical style and which turned 10 last July 9th. In what ways do you think these two albums, these two musical records are similar?
Well, I guess, as you say, they're similar in sound, but actually, interestingly, now I think about it, they came about in the same way. Flaws was written really soon after we released our first album, and it was just us trying to find different ways of playing the songs for like gigs, you know, if it be an acoustic gig or we were just showing up somewhere to like a pub or whatever, we would work out an acoustic version, which is kind of what this is. There are other versions of our songs, or we would be doing covers for the B-sides of our first album. And with Flaws, we kind of realized after doing, you know, 10 or 11 songs that we had an album's worth, so we just put it together. And I guess it's kind of the same with this, you know. I think Jack was, obviously we were locked down in London and he had a lot of time in his hands, and he was like, I think I'll work out some of these songs, because we had radio sessions and we could record acoustic versions at home and send them in. Whereas if it wasn't lockdown, we'd have gone and done the full band. So he kind of started working it out like that, and then realized that actually there was enough songs to put out an EP. And I think that we all realized that people would like it. You know, people are fond of Flaws. They really like Flaws, and we hadn't done anything since, so it seemed like a good time to do that.
How do you choose the songs that were in this new EP?
I guess it case by case. I think Let You Go became a different song. The way it was recorded on the album, it's like very electronic, lots of noises, and I think the actual songwriting and like the melodies and lyrics get hidden a bit. So with that one, I think Jack wanted to very much highlight the songwriting and kind of draw out the beauty in that, whereas I think it's quite hidden on the album version. We chose to do, what's it called? Racing Stripes, because that was the song that we were asked to do for the radio session that I'm talking about. They wanted that one, and that sparked the whole thing. And I think Is It Real, you know, that's a kind of nice, upbeat, catchy song, and it kind of the mood of it's very uplifting. So having that on the EP was quite important. And then there's a Bonnie Raitt cover. I mean, God knows how Jack found that, but it works really well. I have no idea how he found that one. It's not a song I knew before.
Okay, now let's talk about your relationship with Mexico.
Okay.
This 2020, Bombay Bicycle Club was going to return to our country after 8 years of absence, something that was no longer due to the coronavirus. And I don't want to sound rude, but why do you wait so long to come back?
Oh man, so the most annoying thing about all of this, the thing I was looking forward to the most was coming back to Mexico. And just every time we tour around the States, that's what we want to do. We want to come to Mexico after going to the United States. And for things like money or visas or just timing, it never works out. And this time we were like, okay, let's put it in. Let's make sure it happens. So we booked it in. And then there was a pandemic, so we couldn't make it. So I'm really sorry. That's what all of us really wanted to do. That's the reason we haven't made it since, when were we last there? 2012, beginning of 2012. Yeah. So 8 years ago. And we've been trying to get back for the last 8 years and haven't made it.
One of the things that your fans in Mexico love the most is the video of Lights Out, Words Gone. that came to you from a contest that you liked to choose a video of the song, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember what caught your attention the most in that video, and why did you decide to choose it from other videos?
That was me, actually. I was the one that was campaigning for that one. There was just something really natural and effortless about it. You know, you watch it, and all the other videos we were sent was, you know, they were kind of more big budget and loads of things were happening. And you watch that one, and it's just people dancing and having a good time, and it suited the song, it suited the mood, and it was really beautiful. And I've never got tired of watching it. You know, you get in the mood of watching those people dancing. And then actually, when we went to Mexico City, me, Jack, and Lucy Rose went around the city in 2012, and we saw a kind of a dance very similar to the one in the video, which was amazing. So it was just as cool seeing it in real life as well.
Finally, now with this pandemic and the lockdown by coronavirus, you have been recording music. What are the plans for Bombay Bicycle Club after this Unplanned Break?
I mean, that's very much up in the air. So what we want to do is pick up where we left off and do some touring, because we only got to tour the UK with the record. So we would like to do another European tour, do a UK tour, do a tour in North America, come to Mexico, of course, and, you know, fulfill what we said we would do to people, because, you know, we put those shows on and we wanted to do it, and people were excited for us as well. So that's the first thing we'll do. We've got a lot of time on our hands now. we're making music. I don't know whether there'll be any music that we play to people, but hopefully at some point there'll be, you know, a new single or a new EP or a new album. I guess it depends on how long lockdown goes on, but, you know, we're getting together now and we're playing music, so hopefully something will come of it. But the main thing is, when all of this ends, we'll come back and we'll try and play as many shows as we said we would do before.